Good morning, Philip Brand.
Well, good morning, John.
Thanks for meeting with me today. And today we're going to be talking about your latest book, Becoming a Warrior at Selling. Did want to say congratulations, Philip. I'm really impressed with this book.
Well, thank you, John. It actually took me a very long time to write. I put a lot of my heart and soul in it, and it took me about 7 years to write this book because I just wanted to keep digging in, getting more nuggets into the book.
And you can tell it's the book of a person who's spent their lifetime doing sales, and it's extremely thorough. And I do want you to just tell us a bit about yourself. What attracted you to sales? Like, was it that you were into Simmel Consulting first, or tell us a little bit about your history.
Yeah, well, thanks again for having me this morning, John. I've been in sales for about 27 years, right out of university. Uh, what it really attracted me to sales was it gave me an opportunity of unlimited income. I'm not the type of individual that can work 9 to 5. I have to work for myself. I have to be able to achieve my goals and my dreams. So about 20 years ago, I started Simmel Consulting. And the purpose of Simmel Consulting was to allow other individuals to reap what I've already learned. Allow them to go out there. It's a sales organization. Go out there and be very successful. I'm also a published author, as you know. I am a public speaker. Have spoke internationally, and I've helped organizations large and small out as well.
And one of the things that really attracted me to the book was in the beginning you talk about the confluence of ethics and sales, and the philosophy of sales and how it relates to the quality of the person. Should you sort of go into that a bit for us?
You know, John, it's very interesting. A lot of people have a misconception about sales. A lot of people, when you speak to them and you ask them, what do you do? They'll never come out and say they're a sales rep. I deem myself to be a professional sales individual. And that has to deal with mind, body, and soul. It now goes back to ethics. It's interesting, John. I've related this at many of my public speaking events that I've hired and trained thousands of individuals. Individuals that have to jump from company to company to company. Oftentimes there's an underlying reason why. It also goes back to the ethics of sales. I believe that if we do things in the client's best interest, they will stay with us for a very long time. So, sometimes you have to cut things short. And I'll give you, sometimes people see the dream. Maybe it's a dream house and it's going to cost them over their budget. Should we as sales individuals push them into that? Or should we say, you know what? Let's be realistic. That's your dream. Let's get into something realistic today so we have one foot going forward towards the dream. We see that in sales all the time. The ethical people will do what's in the client's best interest. The unethical people will do what's in their best interest. And doing something in your best interest oftentimes is in your client's best interest. So we want to make sure we put client first. So as you know in the book, is very client focused, customer oriented. That's what this is all about.
Right, and you've called the book "Becoming a Warrior at Selling," and what does that mean to you? What does
It,
being a warrior at selling mean to you?
when Christopher Columbus founded North America, he burned the boats. And the reason why he burnt the boats was there was no turning back. That's what a warrior is. A warrior at selling is, this isn't a hobby. This is your passion. You have to be enthusiastic and give everything into it. So you can't say, hey, I'm going to do this as a hobby and do other things. This as a warrior is your profession, and you have to treat it as a profession. And that's what warriors are. We do whatever is necessary to achieve our goals and our dreams, but we again have to do it ethically.
Right, and so you go down into minute detail as to exactly everything that a salesperson needs to do, including their demeanor, what the clothes they wear, the way they approach people, the way that they organize themselves, And and what's your take on objection responses?
Objections oftentimes is just an opportunity. We know in sales that the average individual will have between 7 and 9 objections, where the average salesperson, not a warrior, a salesperson, gives up after the first time. So if you said to me, no, John, oftentimes it's not no, it's no, but. And there has to be a reason behind that no. So I love hearing objections. Objections is what really makes the difference between a sales rep and a warrior. We want the objections because oftentimes the consumer just wants more information.
Right. And so it's an informational focus. And what you're saying is that what's good for the consumer is good for the salesperson.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you treat your people ethically today, you may not make a sale today, but they will refer people to you. And in the long run, you'll end up creating more sales. So it is a win-win for everybody, John.
And so that's great. And so this book is now available on Amazon. And you're also going to be doing some public speaking around this book. Is that correct?
Yes, we've already done a little bit already, John, but there is a lot more public speaking events coming up. And with the COVID-19, things are on the shelf a little bit. But yes, I've been asked to speak internationally about the book.
And you're saying that that on the back there's a checklist. This book is very useful for training purposes, would you say?
Yeah, it's actually a workbook, John. A lot of the section is detailed information. I know people who have read my book have taken a lot of time, a highlighter. Some people call it their Bible, but at the back, there's checklists of what you need to do to accomplish your goals. Because oftentimes people, John, they read a book and then they put it on a shelf. We want this to be at the forefront. We want people to be reading it, highlighting it, taking notes, doing the checklist, redoing the checklist, and this will keep them focused, energized, enthusiastic, passionate, and of course, end up being a warrior in sales.
And if people want to reach out to you, Philip, how can they reach out to you?
Well, John, they can reach out through our Facebook community. They can Google myself, or they can email me at philip at simulconsulting.ca. They can go to my website, philipbrand.ca. Really simple. And I love answering questions. In that website, there is an area for people to ask questions, and I've uploaded quite a few audio and videos with questions that people have asked me.
And so we are going to connect this to your website where the books are advertised, and there's links there for Amazon. And so, Philip, once again, I love this book. I think it's a great book. I really think anyone who's in sales should read this book. And so, thanks for being with us today, and you have a great day.
Well, again, thanks for having me, John, and happy sales.
Happy sales.